my darlings, I hope you're doing very, very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy, and you have your snacks and your beverages at the ready. In today's video, we'll be talking about the ever famous Inked magazine and the ever famous tattoo model competition that they hold each year. For many, many years now, people have been talking about the fact that the Inked magazine competition is very much a scam and it's not fairly run, and there's been many people that have taken part that have found out the hard way that this is the case, or possibly the case. And every year that it is run, there is a PSA to say, hey, don't bother signing up for this, don't bother doing this, because the chances of you winning very, very slim. Very, very slim. Obviously, with every competition, there's only ever one winner, but the way that it's run is pretty unfair, and you have to have some advantages to be able to come even close to winning. And I feel like the winner of 2025 basically just highlights that. It basically highlights that, and it's very worrying, to be honest with you. So get comfy, get cozy, and we're going to take a deep dive look into Inked magazine and the competition that ruffles everyone's feathers. Inked magazine first launched in 1995, but I've also seen conflicting dates of 2004, and then some other places say 2001. It's hard to find an actual solid answer. I think Wikipedia said 1995, and I know we shouldn't always trust what Wikipedia says. On the Inked magazine About Us, it does say that it's been going for 25 years. So again, I'm finding conflicting things. It also says that it has 40 million followers. Ink magazine is a celebration of tattoo culture and the people who shape it. We explore the intersection of ink, art, music, fashion, and lifestyle, highlighting stories that go beyond the surface, from established artists to emerging voices. Inked is a space for creative expression and individuality. With millions of followers across social platforms, a widely read digital platform, and a print magazine distributed globally, Inked has become one of the most recognized and influential voices in tattoo culture. Our presence in the media space continues to grow, making us a trusted source and creative hub for a worldwide community. When Inked magazine first started, it very much was heavy on the tattoo side of things. It was very much about tattoo artists and tattoo collectors and everything that comes along with that. It's been one of the biggest tattoo related magazines of all time. It's one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name. I feel like every tattooed person at some point in their life has heard of Inked magazine in some capacity. And many years ago, it was a very well respected magazine. It was a favourite among tattoo artists and tattoo clients. However, after a while, there was some changes made that a lot of people did notice, and there was a big shift within the Inked magazine. In 2010, there was a new editor-in-chief hired. His name is Rocky. And looking at photos of Rocky, there isn't many, but looking at photos of Rocky, he doesn't even look tattooed. I can't see any tattoos on this man, okay? And he became an editor-in-chief of Inked magazine. And as soon as Rocky was hired as the editor-in-chief of Inked magazine, this is when the biggest shift happened. All of a sudden, there was a lot of celebrities on the front cover of Inked magazine. So we had the likes of Machine Gun Kelly, Kat Von D, and Deadmau5, Travis Barker, Adam Levine, Eve, Ruby Rose, and Avril Lavigne. The front covers of the Inked magazine before that were basically very well-known tattoo artists or just your regular tattooed model. There was a lot of, half-naked tattooed women on the front of Inked magazine, and that's something that always gave me the ick about Inked magazine, the fact that there was always like half-naked women on the front, and obviously, the whole thing of sex sales and what have you, but it really did add on to the sexualization of tattooed women. Tattooed women get sexualized a lot. And we definitely have Inked magazine to thank for that. Yeah, they definitely played a big part in that. Anyway, so when Rocky became editor-in-chief of Inked magazine, they really did hone in on the whole celebrity thing, and they used a lot of big names like the ones I've just listed, and they kind of just played into the whole like celebrity status within tattooing. This was in like the peak era of LA Ink, New York Ink, Miami Ink, when celebrity tattoo artists started to become a thing as well. Like they very much like played into that whole celebrity-ness within the tattoo world. And yeah, since all of this, the magazine has been more about celebrities with tattoos over your everyday person with tattoos and your everyday tattoo artist. It's all about followers and who's tattooed who, instead of, regular old people with tattoos, because that's what the majority of the tattoo industry is. It's just regular people. The Inked magazine also took the social media route by making content on YouTube, and their YouTube channel popped the hell off, okay? They amassed a huge following very, very quickly, and a lot of their videos would get millions upon millions of views. However, now the Inked magazine YouTube channel was basically dying a pretty slow and painful death. They are not getting views like they once used to. They went from getting, you know, millions of views to now getting around about the same views as I do. You know, and it's just like, oh. Once upon a time, Inked magazine did actually reach out to me. I still have the email. I don't delete emails, I'm terrible. But someone did reach out to me once and say, hello Laura, my name is, and I'm an editor for Inked magazine. I've personally been a fan of your channel for a while, and I'd love to have the opportunity to interview you for an article on our website. Please let me know if you'd be interested, and I can send some questions your way. Thank you for your time and have a great day. And I was rude and I just ignored this because I have said on my channel a few times that Inked magazine just gives me the ick. So it was kind of weird that if this person did watch my content, then they would have known this, right? Like, it was weird, but I was just like, nah. And obviously being in an Inked magazine, it would have helped my YouTube channel a little bit, maybe, I don't know, by being in that and, you know, making more people aware of who I am or whatever. But I'm very much a person of, I'm not gonna flip-flop, you know? Like, if I don't like something, I'm very much that type of person of, like, there isn't enough money in the world for me to change my mind on something. Does that make sense? Like, yes, this would have been a good opportunity, but also I don't particularly like this magazine or organization, so no thank you, you know? Like, I have integrity. Is that what I'm trying to say? I think so. But yeah, I've never been one to fawn over Inked magazine or anything like that. It's just, yeah, not for me, to be honest. It's never been my dream to be a cover girl, that's for sure. So we're now going to talk about the Inked magazine competition. I'm sure some of you are very much aware of the Inked magazine competition. For those of you that aren't, I will give you a quick brief of what it is. So every year, the Inked magazine hold a competition where a bunch of tattooed folk submit pictures of themselves to then be in a chance to win the opportunity to be a cover person for Inked magazine, okay? Alongside this, there is a cash prize and the opportunity to be tattooed by a very well-known tattoo artist. In previous years, it's been people like Ryan Ashley, Bang Bang, and other people like that, like very notable, famous tattoo artists that are very heavily involved within the Inked magazine world. So once you have entered your photo, then the voting begins. And there is like a tier system to voting, like there is with every competition. There's like stages. Okay, it seems like a very standard competition. Nothing too red flaggy about that as such, right? Now, what the red flag is with the Inked magazine competition is the fact that you get one free vote a day. So say your best friend enters and you want to vote for her, you get one free vote per day. So that's cool, that's fine, right? What isn't cool or fine is the fact that you can pay for extra votes. Say again, you want to be a supportive person to your best friend and you want to pay for some extra votes. Say you've got an extra $5 laying around. You want to help her out, right? No. So it is $1 per extra vote, but you can only submit $10 minimum at a time. So you basically have to spend at least $10 to get extra votes for your best friend, which does equal 10 extra votes, but that's like $10. 25% of that money does go to a charity though, so that's something that is good, and Inked magazine does raise quite a lot of money for charities by doing this. However, 75% of that $10 ends up going to Inked magazine. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that the people that do end up winning the Inked magazine basically pay for votes for themselves. It does say in the rules that competitors are not permitted to purchase votes or cast paid votes for themselves. However, what's to stop someone from saying, oh, hey dad, I'm part of this competition. Here, I'll give you $200. Can you cast some extra votes for me? And oh, look, you're my dad, so it's not going to look too suspicious. You're just supporting me. There is nothing that you can do to stop that. There is nothing that you can do to stop any of that behavior. How is Inked magazine going to track that? They can't, okay? You cannot track dodgy dealings like this. And that's when it becomes incredibly unfair. And this is where the reputation of everyone winning the Inked magazine competition basically bought their position because they have paid for a bunch of votes and that's how they got there. Of course, there's also sometimes an unfair advantage. There is a lot of people that have a big following on social media that can get a lot of votes also. There's also the chance that someone has a lot of money that can just, you know, buy their way to the top, which just is not fair. Like I was saying, the Inked magazine competition does donate to charity, which again, I will never fault that. That's great. Since 2018, Inked CoverGirl has proudly donated every year to support music professionals in need. Music Cares is a non-profit organisation that provides relief for music industry professionals who are struggling with addiction or health issues or require emergency assistance. We are thrilled to support the music community with another donation to Music Cares, and I can't knock that, but it's kind of icky that only 25% of the proceeds from this voting situation goes to charity and the rest go to Inked magazine. Again, Inked magazine makes a lot of money. On the Inked magazine website, there is a media kit, and if you scroll to the bottom, you can see their advertising rates, and wow, okay, they're making a ton of money. For a 2-page spread, they charge $28,000. Even for their social media, it's very expensive. So for an Instagram post, it's $3,700. And for an Instagram story, it's $3,700. And for an Instagram reel, it's $3,700. I don't know why all of those are the same price, because I mean, I've never charged for posting on Instagram, but I do know that I get more views on my reels than I do any other posts. And then a regular, you know, photo post is a little bit less views than that, and then my Instagram stories, it depends, but it's less than those two, right? So you should charge accordingly to what gets more views. I'm just giving them advice if anyone watches this from Inked. I don't know if they will, but I'm just letting you know you're charging wrong. But still, that's a lot of money, okay? And Inked magazine post a lot on social media. You can also have an Inked produced video for $40,000. Bloody hell. And yeah, they make a lot of money through advertising just on their, you know, throughout their magazine and their social medias and all of that stuff, okay? Like, yeah. So like I was saying, with the fact that people can just buy their, you know, votes and, you know, basically buy their place within the competition, a lot of people have speculated that the Inked magazine competition is just very much fake and very, very phony, okay? And it's just not everything it's cracked up to be. And Inked magazine basically take advantage of those that don't know any different. Again, if you've been within the tattoo world for a while, you'll know these rumors about the Inked magazine competition. But if you're just starting out within the tattoo world, you know, you just started getting your first couple of tattoos or whatever, or you just don't spend that much time on social media or on the tattoo side of social media, you're not going to know these things, and Inked magazine banks on that. So there is this one tweet, I think it is, from 2020 that says, friendly reminder that the Inked mag cover model contest is an exploitive advertising scam to take advantage of your social media to gain more traffic to their site. If there's an option to spend money on votes, it's not a contest, it's a scam, and I will mute your account. Again, this is from like 5 years ago, okay? So there was a petition that was made against the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition, or the Inked competition as a whole, and it says help change the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition, and then it has the picture that I showed earlier about, you know, the voting system, and it says the issue, many women across United States and Canada right now are feeling very discouraged and even defeated. These women all have one thing in common. They were all contestants in the Inked magazine cover contest. For many, being on the cover of Inked magazine is like a dream come true. It's a chance to be a model, it's a chance to be seen and to be heard, and it is believed to be achievable through this contest. All you have to do is get enough votes to make it to first place at the end of numerous rounds against thousands of other women. But there's also a paid voting option where people buy extra votes by donating to the Music Cares program. Votes even go on sale 2 for 1, a lot almost every other day, which is fine, except in the last paragraph in the terms and conditions on the contest site, there's an article that states anyone who is purchasing votes in the competition is not directly donating to Music Cares, you are simply buying votes. Inked magazine promises 25% of all contest proceeds to Music Cares, which is a strong business move on their part. Thousands of women want to be on the cover, so they will push for people, friends and family to donate. So the magazine makes hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars in one contest period. They make a small donation and most likely get the tax write-off afterwards. The more one looks at the contest, the more you can see it's not a fair playing field between paid votes and just the way the contest is set up. This petition exists not to end the Inked magazine contest, but to change it. Below are numerous suggestions on how the contest could be changed to make it fair for all women. The first point to be made is the paid votes. It's clearly unfair to have it in a way where someone can literally buy their way to the cover. Since Inked magazine is a business, ending paid votes seem unlikely, although most contestants want it that way. A suggestion would be to put a cap on the paid votes. Right now, there's only a $10 minimum each time you pay for votes. You can purchase multiple times a day throughout the round, no limit. Maybe each round should have a cap that is reasonable to all contestants. If each contestant is able to raise between $100 and $250 each round, that seems more fair. If there are over 10,000 contestants, each raising $100 of paid votes in the first round alone, that would be at least $1 million that Inked magazine would still be making. This puts into perspective just how much money Inked magazine makes from this competition. Is crazy. Or maybe in the preliminary rounds, each round could have a maximum cap of even $300, then end paid votes for the quarterfinals and on. Or maybe instead of capping a round, you cap each payment, so one person's card can only make one donation a day, or a round with a max of $10 to $25. The 2-for-1 days where you can buy double the votes should be once in a round, not 3 to 4 times a round. Something along these lines would make it 1,000 times more fair for contestants. There's lots of ways the purchase votes could be limited so contestants couldn't purchase first place in a round or contest. Apart from paid votes, some girls have a few hundred social media followers, some have thousands to 50,000 or more followers. It would make sense to have 2 contests, an amateurs league and an influencers league, or limit it to women who aren't influencers, cover girl models, TV personalities, or big business owners. This levels the playing field a bit and gives more average women a fairer chance. A screening process on who is in the contest, on the quality of photos, tattoos, etc. Contestants shouldn't be allowed to only post photos with heavy face altering filters. No, nudity photos will be nice as well. Oh my gosh, there's me thinking that this was meant to be a civilized contest, because I haven't seen personally anyone submit naked photos. All I've seen is people be naked, but they've hid things with stuff, done a whole ooh, which, all right, that's fine, but if people are against spread eagle or whatever, bloody hell. So yeah, no nudity photos would be nice as well, as Facebook is mandatory need to be in this contest and Facebook flags inappropriate photos and other contestants report each other, etc. Multiple winners could also be a plus. The suggestion would be to have first place winner keeping the grand prize of being on the cover, 2-page spread and $25,000. Second place winner could have a 2-page spread and a smaller cash prize, and third place winner could get 1 page in the magazine along with a small cash prize, or being published could be their prize. All we ask for is change and a fair competition, which I highly agree with. It should be fair. It shouldn't be a who has more money or who has more followers competition. It should be fair, and people should win based on, what they look like, or the quality of their tattoos, or just who they are as a person. Are they a nice, decent person? It should be like that, like a traditional competition. I mean, is that ever going to happen these days? I highly doubt it. Greed takes over, and Inked magazine will for sure, I don't think, ever change, because they haven't. I think this petition thing was from 2024. I don't actually know the date on this, but yeah, for this year, nothing's changed. I come across this very interesting group on Facebook that says Inked Magazine Originals Contest 2025. Now, there is 2 types of competitions with the Inked Magazine. So they do the Inked Mag cover girl situation, and they also have this new thing called Inked Magazine Originals. Now, this has been the only competition this year from Inked Magazine. From my knowledge, I did try and look, and I think there's only been 1 competition thus far of 2025, and now we're in November now, so it's yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing anything else. So there's only been one competition thus far this year. And the winner of 2025, oh boy, you're all going to have a field day with this one. We'll get there in a moment, okay? So I found a few posts about the contest. I have literally talked to someone who has won these competitions. She told me she spent over $10,000 to win, which in a sense, yes, is a come up to get 25k, which is the cash winning prize you get. So she basically only ends up winning 15k. But most of us don't have 10k sitting around to blow in a month for a silly competition. This is about who has the most money in the end. Yes, free votes can help, but it's majority paid. Best of luck to you all. I dropped out of this one once I found that out, and I definitely am covered in tattoos, and I would have looked great on that page. This is another thing we need to talk about. So every year, a bunch of people do like submit photos to, you know, be part of the competition, and like a big portion of them, because again, they don't know much about the tattoo world, either have like 1 or 2 small tattoos or like no tattoos at all, and it's just like, what the actual fuck. Oh god, it's a bit of a meme throughout the whole, you know, scandal of all of this. Another post from 2024 that says, I posted this in another group and within minutes got negative reactions and comments. Did I see another post like this in the group about people saying it's a scam? To be discouraging. Now, this thing that this person is talking about is this post here, and you may have seen it yourself. I see this all the time. Every time there's a new competition that comes up, this gets posted all over social media. And it says, scam alert, a friendly reminder that the following modelling contest should be considered a scam. Inked Magazine Cover Girl Search, Maxim Cover Girl Contest, Miss Jet Set Cover Model Search. Every year models fall for these competitions hoping to gain exposure or to win, but unfortunately these contests are simply an exploitive scam that targets models and encourages them to leverage their fan base to generate profits for the host. What makes these contests a scam? Let's talk about it. Reason 1, these competitions are essentially revenue streams for the host, with models being expected to leverage their followers to drive traffic to their voting site. Any images that models submit becomes freely acquired content that can be used by the host for clickbait, which generates the host and not the model additional ad revenue. Contestants are led to believe that they are in the top of their group, but the host offers no reference to the amount of votes other contestants have, which is an obvious transparency issue. The contest relies on models to post vote for me spam in attempt to catch up or take the lead in the competition, and encourages them to exploit their fan base to purchase votes, which only serves to generate additional visibility and profits for the host. Voting systems that feature the option to purchase votes are completely unethical and validate that these competitions are a scam and not a contest as advertised. As a community, we need to stop participating in supporting these contests and help to educate models on the exploitative nature of these competitions, which I agree with. This needs to be like worldwide known. Like everyone needs to know what they're getting themselves in for. Another very interesting post that I saw that didn't really get much traction, but I very much believe it deserves traction, is this. Ladies, be careful. So I was super excited regarding this opportunity. I did a little research, seemed legit. Start seeing post after post about scam this and scam that. I've been reading everyone's comments and figured, screw it. I hope it's not a scam. I'm still going to do it. Today it has been brought to my attention by a very good friend that she attempted to click on the link I sent her for my profile, and it brought her to my profile with someone else's naked photos. I mean, completely nude, full vagina shot and all. To say I'm pissed is an understatement. Reached out to support with zero response. I'll be putting my profile as soon as I can. I'm posting this so you all have a heads up. I know these are not my photos because I don't take pics like these, and because this chick doesn't have any tattoos. So what happened there, I don't know, but that's so incredibly icky and disgusting. I mean, why there is naked photos a part of a competition where you're not meant to be naked? I think you can be suggestively naked, but it's not like full frontal nudity, you know, spread eagle, here's my clam burger kind of competition, you know. It's more about showing tattoos. Well, that's what it's meant to be. And yeah, this whole post is just not cool. I don't know how this hasn't got more traction. I don't know how this hasn't had more attention, because this just should not happen. Like, this should not happen, because what if those photos were accidentally uploaded? What if Inked Magazine has accidentally posted someone's naked photos to something and it's all got mixed up somewhere? And now this model has had their photos exposed to however many people without the model's consent. Like, it's just all. So, of course, Inked magazine has definitely become aware of the reputation that the competition has got, and they've had to do like an interview and kind of clear things up, right? So there's this article that I found that says Inked magazine issues statement about the legitimacy of Inked cover girl competition. Wondering if the Inked cover girl competition is real, Inked shares the facts. So they released a statement saying, for 7 years, the Inked cover girl competition has given tattooed women the opportunity to win a large chunk of cash, be the subject of professional photo shoot with renowned photographer Christopher Kolk, appear on the cover of Inked magazine and share their stories in a feature article, said Inked magazine PR manager Carson Leathers. Many of our competitors gain significant exposure and new opportunities regardless of whether they take the top spot. The Inked Cover Girl competition is an annual event. 7 winners have graced the cover of Inked magazine to date. The competition's rules are clearly publicized, ensuring transparency. When we hear the term scam and not legit associated with Inked magazine and the Inked Cover Girl competition, we get a little heartburn. Girl, take a runny, take some Gaviscon. God, it's not that deep. The rules and terms and conditions are public, and every year we encourage competitors to read and understand the competition's format before entering. Nevertheless, we'd like to address some of the questions that we have taken notice of over the past year. Here's the truth about Inked Cover Girl. False. It's not legit. Inked Cover Girl is not a scam. The Inked Cover Girl competition is real, legitimate campaign that offers significant opportunities and benefits to its participants. Transparency is maintained throughout the process, and participants who disagree with the format are not obligated to compete. False. They pick a model to win from the beginning. Tattooed women worldwide register to be considered for the competition. Entrants are reviewed by the Inked Cover Girl team for eligibility to compete, and after entry must go through multiple competitive public voting rounds on their path to win. Inked has never pre-selected any competition winner. The Inked Cover Girl team also audits all votes to ensure fairness and legitimacy. False. The magazine now features people with only a tattoo or two. Which, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Inked magazine has evolved into a sophisticated, tasteful publication that highlights tattooed individuals from all over the world in all stages of their tattoo journeys. Whether someone has 1 tattoo or 100, the publication celebrates their unique stories and artistry. So yes, they do still feature people with 1 or 2 tattoos. All right, sure, maybe that should be valid, but this is a tattoo magazine. You would expect someone to have a bit more coverage than 1 or 2 tattoos, right? Like, it's just an expectation. So yeah, the Inked magazine contests definitely have a reputation of being scammy or just not fair, and it's to the point where there are so many people that get absolutely sick of, you know, Inked magazine competition time. I found this random post on the subreddit Tattoo Designs page, which is basically a very, very popular subreddit on Reddit when it comes to the tattoo side of things, and they basically say, all Inked mag contest posts will be removed and you'll be permanently banned. It's apparently that time of year again, the contest is a scam, and you're annoying everyone by spamming tattoo subs begging for votes. And I myself get so many people message me and say, hey, can you vote for me? Can you share my submission? And I just don't respond. I'm not taking part of it. Like, I don't want to sound like an unsupportive arsehole. There's so many ways that I'm more than happy to support you all. But when it comes to stuff like this, I'm not taking part in it. I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm just not gonna do it. So let's talk about the controversy for the winner for 2025 when it comes to the Inked contest. There is this post on the Facebook group that I was just talking about earlier that says, anyone have any luck with the responses from Inked regarding a competitor being in violation of the competition rules? The person who's first in my group doesn't have any tattoos, and when I contacted Inked about it, quoting the rules, they posted entrants must have at least 1 tattoo at the time of entry and throughout the duration of the competition. Just 1 tattoo, okay? I got a response saying we've passed this on to our compliance team for further review, but nothing after that. I don't mind losing to someone with tattoos, that's part of the competition, but to lose to someone without tattoos in the quarterfinals of a tattoo competition, that's messed up. Now, of course, someone could submit a photo of themselves, like a headshot, and they may have 1 tattoo, but it might just be on their wrist, like a tiny little star or something like that. But you're not going to see that in the photo, right? So people are going to assume that you don't have any tattoos or what have you. So, I don't know if this person is talking about the winner of this year's competition, but it's very, very likely because, well, This is the winner for 2025. Okay, this is a winner of a tattoo magazine competition. Okay, do we notice anything here? Do we notice anything at all here? Do we can we see? Can we? Sorry. Every time I see her photo, I mean, she's stunning. She's absolutely fucking stunning. There's no denying that. But like, it's just something missing here. This is the winner for 2025. Her name's Kylie. It says Kylie is a Denver-based force of nature, blending style, activism, and purpose. Her body art tells a story of transformation and hope, a living canvas that reminds her that even in the darkest moments, she's a connector, a creator, and a seeker of light. Now Kylie is ready to add the next chapter to her tattoo journey with ink from the legendary Bang Bang in New York City, a feature in Inked magazine, and $25,000 in hand to turn her next vision into living art. So yeah, Bang Bang was obviously the tattoo artist that you would win a tattoo from. And getting tattooed by Bang Bang is very, very expensive. He's probably one of the most expensive tattoo artists to be tattooed by. So there's that. But you just have to ask yourself, how the hell did she win a tattoo related competition when from like chest up you can see there's like one tattoo, like there's something on her arm there. It's very hard to make out. It kind of looks like leaves or a flower, right? How did this person win a tattoo related competition? Well, let's be serious, money. She probably put in a ton of money to win, or there's something else going on here. What, I don't know, but how she won over the many tattooed women and people that submitted. Come on. There is no way a bunch of tattoo fans have voted for her. I personally wouldn't vote for her. Again, she's lovely, she's stunning, I'm sure she's great. But I wouldn't personally vote for her for a tattoo magazine. I just wouldn't. I would not. So yeah, Kylie herself has 2 tattoos. 2. That's 2. I found an interview with Kylie talking about her 2 tattoos. She only mentions one of them in depth. It's one on her thigh or something like that. So yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, you have the leg piece.
The larger leg piece is my original piece, and I collaborated with the artist Madeline Restali. She's incredible, and we worked a lot with the concepts that I wanted to bring forth into an artwork piece, but made sure that it also spoke to her background and herself as an artist, as well as me as a person and what I wanted on my body, so that it was a little bit of a collaboration there, and that's what makes it really special.
I was trying to find more information about Kylie. I was just like, oh, maybe she has a massive following on Instagram or a huge Facebook following or something. I couldn't find her. And like, I didn't look that hard, so that's maybe why, but like, I typed in her name, nothing was coming up, and I was just like, what? Like, surely if she's won this, she either has, again, a bunch of followers, but then if you have a bunch of followers, I should be able to find you on, you know, social media or through Google pretty quickly. No. So the only other way that she's won this is basically buying her votes, right? Like, that's literally the only way that I can think of, right? Like, again, she definitely wouldn't have had popularity votes from those that are tattooed, because why would people that love tattoos vote for someone that isn't visibly tattooed or has like 2 tattoos? Like, you just wouldn't. I did find her LinkedIn though. This is such a millennial thing. Oh god, I found you on LinkedIn. And yeah, there isn't too much information about her other than the fact that she does have a generative AI badge. Which is a bit of a yikes for me. Like, I feel like generative AI is just, it's not good, especially when it comes to art and stuff. You shouldn't be using AI to create art, in my opinion, because there's so many artists out there. Just hire an artist. It does say earners of this badge completed the e-learning course and assessment that will empower them to harness the power of AI in their work. Earners have actively explored and applied generative AI techniques in real-world scenarios. They will have the confidence to integrate generative AI into their project, enhancing productivity and achieving exceptional outcomes, which, like, the tattoo world, well, correction, the decent tattoo artists of the tattoo world are very, very anti-AI throughout the tattoo world. But as months and months go on, I am just seeing artists upon artists upon artists succumb to generating tattoo flash on AI and just using AI for tattoo designs and all of that. Like, it's getting bad, and tattoo artists are getting lazier and lazier and lazier because, yes, generating art takes less time, so then you have more time to do whatever, because obviously with being a tattoo artist you do spend a lot of time drawing, but that's just part of the job, and if you aren't up for that anymore, then don't be an artist, because like artist is in the name of your job description, okay? But yes, having someone that's like pro generative AI as a winner in an artistic field competition kind of thing, again, tattoos are art, it's all a bit icky to me, you know? Like, again, if people knew this information and were voting for her and know the problems with generative AI within the art world, I don't think they'd be voting. So again, it's just like, what the hell happened here? You know, like, what the fuck happened here? Another thing I want to add, and this isn't to dunk on Kylie too much, because again, I think she's bloody stunning, but she just doesn't look alternative by any means. And Inked magazine has been heavily alternative for many, many, many years, like for decades. So to see someone that doesn't look that alternative is a bit of a shock to the system as well. It also feels like it's kind of playing into the whole, like, we're gonna, you know, move with the times kind of thing. You know, again, she won the competition. I don't think Inked magazine has a say in who wins as such, but it does kind of feel like Inked magazine has kind of played into this whole clean girl aesthetic. I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I recently made a video about the fashion brand Killstar and how they've kind of started to play into the clean girl aesthetic. They're not as heavily alternative as they once were. And now Inked magazine seems to be doing that too. Again, Kylie maybe possibly did pay for her position there, so it's out of Inked's hands. But it's just very weird in the year where everything is leaning more conservative, we have someone that just doesn't look that alternative winning a tattoo competition magazine thing. Like, what is going on with that? So when the news was announced that Kylie was the winner for the contest for 2025, people were pissed to say the least, okay? So one person said, pretty big waste of time for people who actually have a lot of tattoos. I would have liked to see someone who was really covered, beautiful, and worked hard and has an incredible story. She's an activist. She's probably rich husband, and that's why she won. Sucks for people like me. I never win anything, and I made it to the semi-finals, 3rd place. So I know some people are probably going to read into this and be like, well, this person's just being bitter. They're just, you know, jealous that they didn't win or didn't have a chance or what have you, which, okay, cool, understandable. I'm sure that's a valid reaction to this type of comment and what have you. But also they do have good points of, she just doesn't have many like, she's got 2 tattoos and they're not big tattoos. It's not like she has 2 sleeves where you could say, oh, she's only got 2 tattoos. She's got what she's got. You know, like, I feel like this person has valid concerns. Someone else said, this competition was a joke. I had so many votes in top the whole time until the very end came. I had so many votes, but guess not enough to break the bank. I guess this person just didn't pay enough. Someone else said, I have many tattoos and it was rigged, seems to be every year. Someone else said, fell for it too, won't be entering again. Another person said, that's insane, but money buys a lot. Another person said, wow, what the fuck, nice tats. And then someone else said, Mary Poppins had the most money. Oh God. And then someone else said, this is really pathetic. The winner of a tattoo contest has 2 very small tattoos. She's just had the most money behind her. I'm very disappointed. And I would be too, to be honest. Like, again, I would never take part in this myself, but if I had and then saw who won and compared coverage, I'd be pissed too. I'd just be like, what is happening here? I will say, though, this contest did raise a lot of money. It raised nearly $2.5 million for the Be Positive Foundation. The Be Positive Foundation is to support families and children with cancer, which I am all here for. Like, I am all for that amount of money going to a charity like that. I lost my mum to cancer, so I am very aware of how important these types of charities are. So I will not knock that by any means. That's fucking fantastic, and I celebrate that and I applaud that. Like, that is such a big bonus for all of this. But it also makes me think, wow, how much money went to Inked magazine? Wow. Okay, you know, like, if they did the whole only 25% of the vote money goes to charity, then the rest goes to Inked, I'm sure mathematicians here can work that out for me. Okay, like that's yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money. But hey, any amount going to charity is good, right? Like, we can't knock that, but it's still incredibly unfair to those that do submit pictures, those that are tattooed, those that don't have that much of a following but just want a chance at being known, or those, again, that don't have a bunch of money that can, you know, be like, hey, if I give you this money and you vote for me using that, like, come on, wink wink nudge nudge kind of thing. It's just a very, very unfair competition. And again, with the winner for 2025 having 2 measly small tattoos, I don't know. I mean, a part of me does think, like, well, everyone should be valid within this competition. You know, they have tattoos, so they're not breaking any rules here, you know, like, every person with tattoos is valid. And to say Kylie isn't valid enough or tattooed enough for this does seem a little bit mean and rude and very, like, you can't sit with us kind of thing. But also, like, this is a tattoo magazine, you know, like, I don't know. It's just, you have expectations of seeing people kind of, like, covered. No, like, that's just what you expect to see. And maybe it is nice that there's something different for once. Maybe. But it's also, I don't know, it's just so very obvious that she got her votes by paying a ton of money, and it's just not fair. It's not fair to those that also have the same amount of tattoos as Kylie but don't have the money, you know? Like, it's just the unfair advantage that's the biggest ick here, I think, to be honest with you. I don't know. Anyway, I would just love to know your thoughts and opinions on all of this. Have you yourself ever submitted to the inked contest? Have you got very far? Did you have to spend some money? How do you feel about the whole pay to vote situation, and do you think that's fair? And how do you feel about the winner for 2025? Are you a bit like, oh yikes, okay, that's a bit of a weird one? Or are you like, you know what, it's kind of refreshing to see someone with just 2 tattoos. That is kind of representation for me, or those that only have 2 tattoos. Maybe you're sick of seeing heavily tattooed women on the front of covers or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very interested to know your thoughts and feelings about this whole situation. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little while. I appreciate you all so freaking much, and until my next video, stay safe, stay well, and until my next video, bye.